Hello, my awesome students. Dr. Fatma Zhraa Salem with you, a professor in the Faculty of Education at Ain Shams University. Today we are going to continue our course in readings in major in English. We will discuss a very important topic related to how to read a book in your field of study in foundations of education very well according to key steps. So let's begin with these 4 key steps of how to read book in your field of study in simple 4 key steps. Step number 1, select the proper suitable book. Step 2, read the book index. Step 3, read the summary and results of each chapter. Step number 4, write a page of the key points of the book. Actually, in order to select or choose a proper or suitable book, you should ask yourself specific key questions. The first question, does this book belong to my field of study in foundations of education or not? Is it a reference book? It has a historical background of the philosophy and sociology and psychology of education or not? So it is a reference book. Is it a reference book or not? Does the writer academic person or not academic person, such as writers who write the novels, science fiction? So this is not academic person. So does the writer academic person or not belong to the academia world? So this is very important to answer this question. Can I get information from this book? So I have a target, I have a goal that I need to collect specific information about, such as philosophy of education. So can I get information from this book or not? So all these questions you should answer inside your mind, inside your head, to select the proper and suitable book. Actually, in step 2, read the book index. This is very important step, because you don't need to read all the book chapters or all the topics related to this chapter. You need to put your hand on the specific topics or chapters that serve your search about specific information or specific topic. So this is very important to read the whole list or the index of the book. Firstly, highlight the important chapters that you need to collect information from these chapters. Put sticky notes. This is very important to put sticky notes, your ideas on the first page of the chapter to inform your mind that this is very important chapter, and I can collect the data from this chapter. So this is very important to put sticky notes on the first page of the chapter to concentrate and to focus on the line of reasoning and the key points inside this chapter. Then you need, after putting your hand on the most important chapters that you need to collect specific information about a specific issue or topic, about a specific issue or topic in your field of study in foundations of education, you need to prioritize the topics based on importance information. This is very crucial and very important to prioritize. Start with the chapter, not the orders, with the orders of the chapters that the writer put in his or her book. No, you need to reprioritize this chapter and start with the important chapters according to your goal and according to your objective or your plan to collect information from this book. So this is very important to prioritize the topics based on the information, how important the key information or the important information. So in step 2, this is very important. You should read the all lists of the book or the index of the book or content of the book and highlight the important chapters. Put sticky notes on the first page of the chapter. Reprioritize the topics based on importance information. So in step number 3, read the summary and the results of each chapter. This is very crucial and very important to put your eyes and consider all the summaries and the conclusion of the chapter. You don't need, by the way, to read the all pages of the chapter. You need to shed the light only on the main titles and the subtitles belong to these main titles. Search for the summary of the chapter. This is very important to if you didn't find the summary of the chapter inside the chapter, or the writer didn't write it, you should create it according to your understandings to the key points of the chapter. You should create the summary of the chapter and write it down in your key notes. Or in your sticky notes. Highlight the most important, this is very important, highlight the most important results of the chapters. This is very important to know so what the conclusion of this chapter. So this will serve your research about a specific topic. So firstly, shed the light on the main titles, the summary, and the conclusion or the results of the chapter. To read the summary and results of each chapter and to put your hand on these results and conclusion. And lastly, finally, in the last step, you should, in your notebook, write a page of the key points of the book. This is very crucial and very important to determine the goal and the objective of this book. So what is the objective of the book in your hand, or in the reference book related to your foundations of education measure? So this is very important to determine the goal and the objective or the purpose of the book. And the approach means methods here. So what are the most important methods that the writer depend on? So this, you should mention these approaches. If it critical, analytical, descriptive, informative, cognitive, evaluative approach, so constructive approach, all these approaches, or maybe he depends on all these approaches or most important approaches inside his book, and you should mention all these approaches. Secondly, write down the key results. So you collect specific results from each chapter. Now you need to recollect all these results again and rearrange and reprioritize these results and write the most important key results from the whole book, not only from the specific chapters or specific chapter. Criticize, then you give your mind a room to criticism, to criticize and give feedback about the book in your hand or about this reference book. So criticize the book and mention, please, the positives, the negatives, the drawbacks, things that all things that the writer didn't mention, methods, approaches, topics, factors, history maybe of the science. So you need to give your mind a room to criticize and evaluate and assess this book. So these are the four steps to how to read a book or a reference book in your field of study very well. Now it's time for practicing. Let's practice. You have an activity now. Select a book from your field of study in Foundations of Education major and follow the 4 steps to read it well. So you have an assignment to select a specific book related to your field of study and please apply the 4 steps to read it well. Thank you so much for having me in this lecture. Dr. Fatma Zhraa Salem with you. Please don't forget to smile all the time because you deserve to be an optimistic person in your life. Thank you so much.